Good morning, everyone. This is Shelby with Shelby Creations. I put down it's just a piece of paper here to help with that glare, because what I want to share with you today is not actually creating something, but the things we create with. Now, I know a lot of you have heard me talk about my Pull Me box, and believe me, it stays full. But I went in to look for something, and I pulled out one little tin and ended up with it all over the desk, sorting it out. And I came across some stuff that they're not stickers. It's not, papers we buy. It's not things specific to junk journals, but it's things we use that we have, in our day-to-day lives. And I thought, with seeing a lot of newbies out there asking, well, what do I use? Can I use this? I thought I would come on, show you some things that I have that I use, and maybe it will give you some insight to the things that you have that you can use also. And out of that one little box, which is probably not much bigger than this basket here, this is what I have. None of it is things that I have bought that's specifically for junk journals or scrapbooking or paper crafting. But I did want to share them with you. One thing I do use are snaps. And I'll use my pokey tool, poke a little hole, and especially if it's like copyweight paper, these hold great if you do not have brads. Now, somewhere in my area, I do have brads. I remember having them, but I cannot find them. So I use these also. So that is, and then you can always save the card and use the card too. Another thing I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember these, but these are, let's see if I can find they're negatives. It's not really going to show, but I have a couple of those. And you can buy the little frames like this to put your own in, or even acetate with something in between it. But these are good. Little tucks that you can put in with your scrapbook or your junk journal. Another thing I found that's real fun, money rolls. I've used these before. And one thing that is, if you say you have extra of these, I know you are going to get a plethora of crafty friends that are saying, oh, do you have enough to share? The old S&H green stamps. These are the only ones I have. And yes, I will make copies of these, run them through, if I'm printing some things, run them through the printer, and then just, fussy cut them. But these are the original ones. I love my S&H green stamps. This is a needle packet, an old needle packet. It still has the little piece of acetate in it. It's got the little piece of material that held the needles, the backing. And all I did was, open it up and saved it. You can make a template of these and make a ton of these with, some ink and stamps. Strips out of a book. And you see these are glossy. This is just a piece I cut off of a book. And yes, I'll use those book pages, shiny book pages. The old music boxes where you could look in and, and choose your records. I have a couple of those too. Now, things like this, you can put down a whole different sheet of like these in your S&H green stamps and make copies of them. This I thought was interesting. This is, or was, a sewing kit. It says it's real silk, but something like that. Those are really neat. And regular matchbooks. You can actually take them apart and use it as a template to make your own little, matchbook memo pads or whatever. Pictures. And I don't know who these people are, but it's a picture I found. One thing I like using are tea bags. They make, a neat little, just a conversation piece or a little something to tuck into your journal. Pieces, alright, see this one I cut out of a book. As you can see the back page on there. Another page, these are cuttings out of a book. And I like this one because I could either use front or back. And there's a few more here. Now this came off of, this was a label off of some sparkling ale. I thought that was interesting. There's another little picture out of a book. Cards. Playing cards. Game cards. These are great. I've got quite a few of those in here. I'll set those up there. These came in things that I bought, and I kept them because you can see they're not in English, but they're just interesting. These are some cards that I'd received in a donation thing from St. Jude's Hospital. I thought those were really pretty. I love the sunflowers. But you can, use them as little journaling spots, tuck them in places. Another quote out of a book. All I did was just cut it out. Labels. This was actually off of the package that I had gotten some vintage labels in. Turn some of these over. See, I've got more cards in here. This came, another little card that's got like to and from on it. And you can feel where it's been scored to hold, to hold it, put it in half. So that was interesting. I've got that in there. Baseball cards. More pieces out of a book. Yeah, I've got more playing cards in here. There's one, there's one. Not quite sure what that is for. It looks like almost like a Monopoly one, but it's not in English. And then trivia cards, and you tell I like dealing with different kind of cards. Another playing card. Another card. Rolodex. Yes, you can still buy these. And what I have seen some people do is they've got the old Rolodex holder. And the one that I saw that I cannot find is the round one. And this lady did Rolodex cards. And they had all kinds of collage or stickers and bling and lace and all on them. And she had the whole thing full, and she could just flip through. And I thought it was gorgeous. But I've got one Rolodex card. So what I stick over here. This is just the front of a postcard, and this came out of a Kleenex care package, but it's hard. And then photos. Oh, I can't get them up here. That was one. Well, this, on the back of that, it tells about when this was. This was the photo of Iwo Jima, February 23rd, 1945. I mean, it's not a real photo, but that is really, I like that one. There's another one here. And yeah, that was another thing that came in the mail. These are like out of more magazines or books. Thought those were good. And these are pictures that I had found somewhere. And I've got so many old photos here. And I don't know who these people are. I think I got these two here out of a bundle that I bought from Pam at the Paper Outpost. A little like vocabulary card, or when trying to learn a language. I thought that was neat. Paper money out of a game. A library card. Remember the old file catalog? Got some more photos here, which I think are really neat. Those are good to use. Now, I don't know how many of you remember these, but we used to get negatives on a sheet like this. So I thought those were kind of neat. And then something a lot of people have not seen, microfilm. These make great little things to insert, little conversation pieces. You can cut them in strips and just, and glue several pieces, several little squares down. Puzzles. Out of a little puzzle book. These are great to stick in, especially in a junk journal, a traveling journal. So I have some of those. Foreign money. I've got a little bit of this. This is from Bhutan, and this is probably from Bhutan too. But I've got some of that. You can make your little inchies out of, this one's out of tea package. A little quote card from a game. Oh, move those aside. We'll get to those in a minute. Another tea packet. Another one of those packing slips. A flashcard for foreign language. And then I have these. These came off of things that I had bought. Little tags for them. And especially if you're just starting out, it has a hole. You can easily collage them. Run a string through them. And you've got a little small tab or tag. This one here I think is cute. It opens up. And then that came off of another package. And tea cards. Now I know a lot of you are not familiar with these, but tea companies used to put these little collector cards into the boxes of tea. And people would collect them. And they would sometimes they'd buy the tea just to get the card. So it increased their sales. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. And it left us with these cute little cards that can also be used in our junk journals. And then our packaging. And the boxes and things that we have. tissue paper. See if I get some of these. All I did was fussy cut some things out of tissue paper. These little flowers. And little pieces of tissue paper. From cards, you can cut out, you know, the little figures, fussy cut them. And I've got quite a few. There's another piece of tissue paper. There's another one. Just from some old cards. Simply sitting there. And it gives you a chance to practice your fussy cutting skills. I've got teacups. There's another piece of tissue paper. The little rabbit, which, that was so cute. So there's a lot of things that, you know, we can use. Oh no, that one's stuck together. From things that we have. And like I said, if it is cards, you need to fussy cut them. Think of it as a way to increase your skills of fussy cutting. And then I have this, which is an old calling card. You can see the person's name written on it. Even though I may not use this, because I only have one, I can use this as a template. A lot of us still have the decorative scissors, the decorative edge. Pull mine out here. The decorative edge scissors like these. And simply cut around a piece of cardstock. And you can either put a flower on here. If you have, you know, some specialty writing, you can put that on there. You know, just everything. But these are ideas and that I hope to share with you so that you'll have some idea on what you have that you can use. Put these back in here to help you get started. I try to keep them right in here so that I can pull from them quite easily. And you know, it's something that we don't usually think about, but a lot of this stuff we have old photos. We may be able to get our hands on, you know, other things, old magazines or whatever. You know, all of it can be a craft supply. You know, it's like I'm always quoting Pam over the Paper Outpost when she says, everything's a craft supply until proven otherwise. Well, these are just some things that I have that I've used and still use. So for those of you that are new to it, look around, see what you've got that may be similar that you could use. You can redo or reinvent or cover or fussy cut or make a template of. You know, and some of these puzzle pages, I mean, I found puzzle books at thrift stores and such, and Goodwill and all. These are great to tuck in. So I hope this helped you to see that there are a lot of other things out there that we may have around our house that we don't necessarily have to buy. So if you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, because we'll be using things like this in the future. And tune back into the Dragon's Den, and we'll have some more playtime. So until then, bye guys.